Hi everybody. I don't usually do any kind of an intro, but I've been meaning to give a shout out to a couple channels that have sent subscribers my way. It's very much appreciated. These channels are Starry's Lost and Found and Heavy Metal Mamas. You can click on their names on the screen to access their channels, so please go check them out. I was waiting till I actually found a silver coin to do this. Unfortunately, I've been in kind of a silver slump, and the last silver I found was back on November 6th, which is before I started filming. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out Starry's Lost and Found and Heavy Metal Mamas. Okay, back at our normal hunting grounds today. First signal. Kind of jumpy, but 70s mostly, 80s. I'm expecting probably just copper. But let's find out. There it is in the sidewall. Ah, there it is. And what do we have? Oh, clad dime. First coin of the day. First signal, first coin. I like the way that happens. Okay, next signal. Could be in the dime, but most likely a penny. I actually did just find 4 Wheaties and a correction. 4 memorials and a Wheatie right there, and I forgot to hit the record button. So this time I'm pretty sure I hit the record button for this one. There we go, a little rocky here. There, now it's nicer. Oh, where'd you go? Okay. And it is a penny, and it's just a memorial. Next signal. There's where I just dug up that one memorial. And right next to it, I'm getting another copper signal. So let's see what we have. Oh, it's in the plug. And I just knocked it into the hole. Yeah, it is a penny. What do we have there? Just a memorial. Okay, next signal. I found the other memorial right here. High 70s to the 80s. Could be a dime. Most likely another penny. But we'll find out. Looks like I missed it a little bit. That should do it. Or not. There it is. Oh, it looks like it's just a... Oh, no. There it is. I thought it was a piece of aluminum, but I dropped the penny. Another memorial. I'm still in the same area where I just got all those other pennies. Getting a low mid-tone here. It's jumpy, but it's hovering, you know, in the late 20s, yeah, high 20s, low 30s. So it's possible it's a nickel. So it's fine. Yeah, with a jumpy signal like that, I have seen nickels come in really jumpy like that, but more often than not, it's trash. But the only way to find out is to dig it out. Oh, it is a nickel. Just a Jefferson. I'm just a couple feet over from where I just dug that Jefferson nickel. And I'm getting another signal in the nickel range. I mean, it is dropping a little low, so I'm guessing it's trash. But I thought the other one was going to be trash too, so I guess you won't know until I dig it. Okay, come on, you were here a moment ago. There it is. Let's see what we have. Oh, I see yellow, so unless it's a special nickel made out of foil, it's just a chunk of foil. Next signal, 48, 49, pretty steady. No American coins, oops, wrong button. No American coins really ringing up in that range. But we do find a lot of foreign coins at this location. So I'm hoping that it's a foreign coin. And I kind of forgot where it was. I think it was right around here. I just missed it, off to the side. And it's just a pull tab. Okay, high 70s hopping into the 80s. What do you think? Penny, possible clad dime. I'm banking more on penny than dime, but I know it's hard to believe, but I've been proven wrong before. Looks like it is a penny. So what do we have? Just a memorial. Next signal. 85, 84, 90. So very possible dime. Let's find out. Let's see what we have. And it looks like it's, oh, that's not, that's just some paint on a rock or something. Oh, I see it on the side here. And it looks like it is a, I can't see what it is. Oh, it looks like a Wheatie. Oh, there we go. Yeah, second Wheatie of the day. First one I got on camera. Next signal, solid 72, 73, hopping up to 74, but it's definitely solid copper range. So, kind of expecting it to be a penny. Nice clean signal also. Yeah, and it is a penny. Just a memorial. You're getting a really weak signal right here. So it's very jumpy, but I'm still gonna dig it, find out what we have. I'm gonna have to go deeper than that, but let's find out. Oh, maybe not. sounded like it was much deeper than that. And it's just a, oh, you know what it looks like? It looks like one of the twisted things off an old sardine can or something. Next signal. High 60s, 70s. Could be a zinc-in. Could be copper. Well, let's find out. To the surface. Oh, there it is. And it's a memorial. And there's actually more on this one. Let's see what we have. And I just lost it. It's just a little chunk of metal. It's probably why the copper penny was reading up a little low. Next signal, copper range, solid high mid 70s. Let's find out what we have. Oops, let's find out what we have. I'm kind of stuck in the bushes here. There we go. Okay, it's in the sidewall here. Yeah, that should kick it out. Yep, and it is a penny. Memorial. Next signal. A little scratchy, but hovering 33, 34. So this is one of those cases where the signal doesn't sound that great, but the numbers are steady. So we'll find out. Oh, that is not a coin, just some foil or something. Trash. Next signal. '70s, '80s, high '70s, low '80s. Possible dime. Let's find out. Ah, there you are. Looks like we have a penny, and it's a memorial. Rang up a little high for memorial, but as we've seen, that certainly does happen. I just had a signal there that sounded like it was just a pretty bad signal. Actually, it sounded pretty trashy, so I didn't bother recording it. And I've gotten some kind of a token. I don't really know what it is. I'm going to try to clean it up when I get home. I don't know if you can see better on the camera than I can with my bifocals. but I wish I would have recorded that one. Go figure, par for the course, right? Okay, getting a solid 94, 95 right here. Truthfully, it does sound a little big, and I don't think I've ever dug up anything good in the 95 range. It's usually trash, but still gonna dig it, find out what we have, especially after not recording that little token. Like, what if it is something good that I'm expecting trash, and I see it is trash? Some kind of a bracket or something. Next signal, copper range. It's reading pretty deep, but it doesn't sound that deep. So, what the heck? That's weird. It's almost like there's a plug there already. I wonder if I dug here last week and couldn't find it. Oh, just fell out. Just a memorial. But there was definitely a plug there, so I don't know if I did that last week and just couldn't find it, or what the deal is. Okay, next signal. Here's where I just got that one memorial. Getting a copper signal here, but when I turn on it, it drops. So let's find out what we have. I see a lot of signals like that where they sound great one direction and lousy on another. I've noticed with both this and my fisher, oops, come on. I've noticed that both this and my fisher, if I get a good solid coin range one direction and iron the other, a lot of times that tends to be nails. You know, when I'm near a cellar hole, you seem to find a lot of square nails, so that's one good way to determine. But like anything, it's not 100%. As soon as you think you have it figured out, it's going to find a way to prove you wrong. Okay, where are you there, buddy? Oh, it fell out, actually. And it's just an old, oh, I thought it was an old, oh, it is not an old pull tab, it's a ring. I wonder if it's silver. It's small, doesn't fit on my fingers, and I don't have big fingers. I do see something in there. I can't read it right now. I don't know if you can on camera or not, but I'll find out when I get home and find out if it's silver or not. Next signal, 91, 92. Bring it up like a quarter. So let's find out what we have. This is only about, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet from where I just found that ring. And I did take a picture of it. I could see that it was sterling. So the ring is silver. Oops, I just made a big old mess. I can fix that. Now I don't know if the target flew out in that big old pile of dirt that's on my detector or not. Let me just dig around a little bit more. There it is, right in the side here. And it is a, oh, and a lot of little bugs. Sorry, guys. Man, it's a clad quarter. 1966. Missed it by 2 years. That's all right. Another quarter, and I can get a package of cheese and crackers out of the machine at work. Next signal. Staying mostly in the copper range. It is reading a little deep. So let's find out what we got. Oh, there it is. And it does look like a penny. Just a memorial. Next signal. Mostly in the dime range, 80s, 86, 89. It is hopping back in the 70s, so it's highly possible that it could also be at another penny. So let's find out. Oh, did I? Well, I just saw this there, which is a little piece of a toy something or other. But I saw something shiny here when I popped it, and there we have a Mercury. Nice. This is the first silver coin I found since I started filming. My last silver was on November 6th. So 1945 Mercury dime. That's certainly worth coming out here today for that. Okay, next signal. Jumping 18 all the way up to the 60s. Probably trash. But you never know. This is about 5 feet from where I just dug up that Merc. So I'm going to dig up anything that's even remotely, even, words are hard. I'm just going to keep digging signals. That's what I'm trying to say. I can dig up most signals in this area. So I found all within like a 10-foot radius, a silver ring, and a Mercury dime. Oh, and that token too. That was all in the same range, the area too. And this looks just like an old rifle casing. Yep, that's what it is. Just an old bullet casing. Next signal. Penny, popping up into the dime range a little bit, but mostly penny range. So let's see what we have. And it did sound pretty close to the surface. And I stand corrected. There it is in the plug. And it looks like a penny. I can't tell. It looks like it might be a Wheatie. I think it is a Wheatie. I can't really see any detail, but usually when you can't see detail, it's usually a Wheatie, because the back of a memorial really shows up pretty well. So I'll see if I can clean it up a little bit and find out. Getting a weak, deep signal. I mean, it's down in the 60s, but it's also all the way up to 90. 34. So, don't know. But it's deep, so we'll dig it. There it is in the side. No, I'm right above it. Oh. Oh, no, I still have to go down a little bit more. I thought I had dug it out, but let's find out. Here we go. Oh, just a bracket. Looks like a bracket for some curtains, like a curtain rod holder. Next signal, solid 88, 90, quarter range. So let's see what we have. If it is another quarter, maybe I can get myself those cheese and crackers I wanted out of the machine. There it is, not too far from the surface. I think one shovel scoop should get it. I thought one shovel scoop would get it. Am I on? Oh. Helps when you turn the pinpointer on. Yeah, there it is, a quarter clad. Let's see if we can get a year off, see how close we came to silver, oops, to another silver. I can't see, but definitely a quarter. Next signal here, very weak signal, getting a 90, but I don't know if it's a standalone signal or if it's part of this, but I'm gonna give it a shot and see what it is. I hope it's not that deep. It's a little hard to dig here. It sounds like, it feels like it's pretty rocky. Nothing yet. Oh, that's probably that other signal I was getting over here. Why don't I dig that up and get it out of there just in case? Oh, come on. And that is just some foil. Well, on the bright side, since that's foil, I don't think that this was just overflow from that signal. Just some trash. Another one of those rifle casings. That was a big hole and a lot of work for a piece of trash. Now let's see if I can get my plug back together. Okay, I'm getting maybe copper signal here and a little higher signal here. It's tough to tell if they're part of the same object because it does mostly disappear when you get between them, or somewhat disappear. I shouldn't say mostly. Of course, now that I'm filming, it's proven me wrong and I hear it the whole way. But that's all right. I'm going to try digging this one first and see if it's two separate items or one large object. Oh, something in there. I just got a little chirp. And now I can, oh, here we go. Memorial for that one. Now let's see if we can find the other one again. I'll have to swing over it just to verify. Huh, I thought it was close to the surface. I stand corrected. Yeah, there you are. Another memorial. So both targets were memorials. Okay, this is that same hole I just filled in my hole. And I was still getting a signal right here in the penny range. So there's probably another one. We'll call this one a spill. Well, that's if this is a penny. Am I turned on? Yeah, there we go. Okay, now I'm gonna have a hard time finding it, aren't I? It's gonna be one of those. Oops. Oh, and I just flung it over here. It looked like a clad dime though. Let's see if I can, oh, there it is. Yep, clad dime. Looks like I kissed it with the shovel. 1976 it looks like. I just can't get away from this hole. There's still a signal in there. High 70s. Right around here, I think. Yeah, there it is. Another penny. And that one's a memorial. Next signal. 85, 90, 84. Definite dime, maybe quarter range, but we will find out once we dig it out. Oops, and there goes my... kind of in the bushes here, so it's a little difficult to move around. Oops. Let me mute the simplex. And it's not a dime or a quarter. It is a cap of something. But either way, it's trash. Next signal, it's right next to the piece of that little cap I popped up, or whatever it was. And that's also reading in the same range, so it could be another one of those caps. Could be a coin. Let's find out. Well, that didn't pop out the way I expected it. That's all right. Oh, this one is a coin. Looks like a penny, a memorial probably. Yep, it's a memorial. Next signal, weak signal, deep. High 70s, low 70s, 80. So it's hopping around a little bit, but it's staying mostly in the copper range. So this ground is very weird. It's like it wants to, almost like beach sand where it falls in on itself. Not quite as bad as beach sand, but... Oh, and it's just a copper little wire. Okay, next signal, mid-tone, 38, 40. Not sure what it'll be. There's no American coins ring up in that range. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've had nickels ring up all over the place. Let's see what we've got here. It's pretty close to the surface. And it's a pull tab. Next signal. Solid 77, nice clean tone. So I'm expecting copper penny. Oh, there we go. If I can get my camera steady here. Oh, I think I see it as a penny. Yep. Just a memorial. Next signal. Jumpy. But it's staying more in the zinc range than the copper range, but I'm still going to dig it, find out what we have. Huh. And I must have missed it. Oh, I see something that's not a coin. Just oh, you know what it does? It looks like a blank round, like a starter bullet or something. Not 100% sure, but that's what would be my guess. Next signal, copper range. Probably a penny. Let's find out. And I must have been off to the side again. I've been doing that a lot today. I'm going to blame it on when I'm setting the camera up. I forget where this target was. There it is. I must have kicked it off to the side when I kicked the plug over. Memorial. Next signal. Reading up to the quarter range, 89.90, but not the cleanest signal. So let's see what we have, or both. That is not a quarter or a dime. Just some kind of a clip. I think it's off of like a screen door or something like that. Next signal. Copper range. A little scratchy. Especially as I move down, I'm getting a lot of iron. But from right over it, I seem to be getting a good solid signal. So we're gonna dig it, find out what we have. Oh, some solid rocks right underneath here. And it looks like it is a penny. Oh, it might be, no. Thought it might have been a Wheatie, but I'm not sure now. Can't see the date. Let's see if I can clean the back up a little bit. Oh, it is a wheat penny. Let me see if I can clean out my pants. That'll be a little bit easier. Yeah, doesn't look any better. But can definitely tell that it is a Wheatie. So that's like the third Wheatie of the day. Next signal. Copper range, dime range, maybe. find out what we have. Although I should have checked to see if it was right near the surface, because even though the depth indicator was showing it pretty deep, it did sound like it was near the surface. I think I see a penny. Yep, another memorial. Next signal, high 60s, mid 70s, peaking up in around the 78 range. So we'll see what we have. Well, that didn't pop out really well. Caught on this root here, but it might be enough. Sorry, worm. There you go, buddy. There it is, just a penny. Oh no, I stand corrected. It's a dime, clad dime. Next signal. Nice clean copper sound. It does pop up into the 80s, so it's possible it's a dime. Memorial. Next signal right up against the base of that tree. Mostly penny range. Does peak in the dime range. So let's find out what we have. Oh, I think I see it, and it's not a coin. It is a, let's find out. Oh, it looks like part of a, like a sink fixture or something. Or maybe a doorknob. Okay, next signal. Nickel range. Let's see what we have. There it is, just a little part of a, not a wormhole. Wow, part of a beaver tail. Next signal, 31, 32, another one in the nickel range. Tough thing about nickels, I've had them read up anywhere from low 20s to around 50, which isn't a bad thing because this way I'm digging more mid-tones than I would have otherwise, and gold's gonna ring up in the mid-tones. Although I'm not expecting gold in this area. Oh, I think I see it already. Yep, beaver tail. But I did find a gold ring not too far from here. About 2 years ago. Next signal. 86, 88. But it does seem a little large. It sounds big, but I'm still gonna dig it, see what it is. Yeah, just some kind of a bracket. Oops. Definitely trash. Next signal. Low 80s, high 70s. Copper maybe? Possible dime. So we'll find out. Let's dig her up. Oh, there it is. Looks like a penny. Yep, memorial. Next signal. Solid copper range, 77, 78. Let's find out what we have. Right near the surface, right there. One shovel should do it. Oh, sorry, worm. Here you go, buddy. And we do have a penny. And it's a memorial. Next signal. Copper range. Right next to it I have a low tone. But we'll dig the copper range one first, then we'll dig the low tone. Or mid tone rather, not low tone. Huh. Well, I thought I was right on top of it. Apparently not. Oh, sorry, worm buddy. There you go, pal. Yep, we do have a penny. Memorial. Now let's see what this midtone was. Turn that. Let's see, did I get, oh, there we go. Just a pull tab. Next signal, solid copper sound. So let's dig it up and find out what we have. Penny. Memorial. Next signal. Mostly copper range, drops a little bit, goes a little bit above, so it's a little jumpy. Let's find out what we have. Oops. I think I just saw a penny. Nope, I saw a rock. There we go, there's the penny. And it's a memorial. Next signal, 8891, not the cleanest signal. It does sound a little large, but it still may be a quarter. So I'm still gonna dig. Oh, if I can get my selfie stick here to not fall down. There we go. Oh, just a piece of copper. Definitely not a quarter. Battery on the GoPro died, so I'm using my cell phone now. But getting good signal. 91, 92. Oh, dropping off there. But that could be two separate targets. So I'm going to dig this first and find out if it is two separate targets. And, oh, it's off to the side here. I thought I might have missed it, which I kind of did. Well, looks like it is a quarter. Clad quarter. Let's see if I can get a date off it. I'll hold it in the sun here. No, I cannot get a date. I didn't turn the camera on for this one, but I did just dig up a little Tootsie toy. So that's kind of cool. Now, I don't know if this front corner was already broken off or if I did that digging it, but that's a cool little find. Next signal. High 70s, 80, 82. Probable penny, possible dime. So let's find out. Oh, this area makes nice little plugs. Come on. And what do we have? We have something crunchy. Oh, and it is a clad dime. Wow, the back is really crunchy. You don't see that too often. Next signal. Sounds like it's on the surface. Ringing up in the dime range. Well, I shouldn't say that. I should say high penny, low dime range. And it's a memorial. Okay, next signal. A little jumpy, but it's peaking in the high 80s, 90. So we'll dig it. What do we have here? It looks like a clad dime. Yep, clad dime. I just had kind of a trashy signal right here. I did dig up this part. I did just have kind of a trashy signal here. I dug up part of this toy gun here. But now I'm getting a much better signal. So let's find out what we have. something fell. Oh, there it is. Just looks like a clad dime. I'll take it. Next signal, 90, 92, quarter range. So let's see what we have. Okay, it looks like I missed it again. Oh, fell right in, and it looks like it is another clad quarter. And can we get a date? 1986. Okay, I'm getting a signal here. Very deep. Weak signal, jumpy. But we'll dig it, find out what we have. Come on, stay up. There we go. There's something down there. Oh, I see a penny. Oops. Oh, it's not a penny. It's a token of some sort. Or oh, it's a foreign coin, I think. Oops. Can't really see where it's from. I'll have to clean it up when I get home and see if I can figure out where it's from. Might be able to see it on the camera. I don't know if that's upside down or not, but I'll call that a good find. I just had a signal over here. It was ringing up in the copper range. I didn't bother recording it, but it looks like I might have found another ring. It's not silver, I'm sure. Not the way it was ringing up, and it's crushed. But it's still kind of cool. No, definitely not silver. But that's another 2-ring day. Can't complain with that. Or about that, I should say.